Hello everyone, I'm here with my rabbit Pope to show you how to trim a rabbit's nails. It is really important to trim your rabbit's nails regularly because they do tend to get too long. Out in nature, wild rabbits are running around, they're digging, and so they naturally keep their nails nice and short, but pet rabbits are usually not as active as wild rabbits, so their nails grow too long and you have to trim them. Pope doesn't like getting his nails trimmed, so he's going to be a little grumpy today, but hopefully we can get through this pretty quickly. So the first thing is that to trim my rabbit's nails, I like to put them up on a high counter. A lot of people like to put them on their lap because they feel like they can keep control of the rabbit and access their nails easily. But my rabbits try to hop away. They try to get off my lap if I am sitting in a lower chair. So I like to put them on the higher counter like this to kind of keep control over them. So the things that you'll need is first some nail trimmers. So hopefully this will come up in focus. This is a guillotine type nail trimmer. That's why it has these two curved edges here. There's other nail trimmers as well, ones that look just like scissors, and some people even use human nail trimmers to cut their rabbit's nails. It's pretty much up to your preference. There's pros and cons of all different types of nail trimmers, so it's whatever you feel most comfortable with will work best for you. The second thing you need is some kind of powder to stop bleeding in case you do trim too far on your rabbit's nails and it starts to bleed. They make special kinds of powder that you can buy at any pet store that's made to stop the bleeding on nails, but you can also use common household powders like cornstarch and flour. So cornstarch and flour are both things that you can use to stop the bleeding if your rabbit's nails bleed, and you'll probably have in your house. So those will work as well. I have cornstarch here today. I have some in a cup just in case the nails start to bleed. So the first thing you need to do is find the kwik of your rabbit's nails. So the kwik is the part of the nail that has blood vessels and nerves. So if you cut into the kwik, your rabbit's nails will bleed and it'll also cause your rabbit pain. So we want to avoid this because of course we don't want your rabbit to bleed, but also we don't want them to be in pain because if nail cutting causes them pain, then they'll be less likely to want to be involved in this in the future. So Pope already doesn't like his nails trimmed. If every time I trim his nails it causes him pain, he'll probably dislike it even more and kind of get panicky when I bring him up here. So we want to avoid that. If your rabbit has light colored nails, which a lot of rabbits do have light nails, you can actually see the kwik just by looking at it. So the portion closer to the rabbit's foot will be darker in color and it might even have a red or a pink hue from the blood vessels running in it. So that's the kwik and that's what you want to avoid. So you want to cut the part of the nail that doesn't have that darker or pinkish color to it. Now my rabbits have really dark colored nails, so you can't see the kwik just by looking at it. A lot of people solve this by using a flashlight. So they'll take a flashlight and they'll shine the light through the rabbit's nail, and sometimes you can see the darker portion by shining the light through the nail. You'll see that it's darker closer to their foot and then it has a lighter portion away from their foot. But for my rabbits, I have a really difficult time, especially with Pope, trying to find the kwik even using a flashlight because Pope really doesn't like to have his nails cut. He gets really stressed about this, and me trying to touch his foot or try to pick up his foot and shine a flashlight under it is just impractical. It just causes him more stress. So instead what I do is I just do regular trimmings about once every 2 weeks, and I just take a little bit off every once in a while, basically. So that way, just by taking a little bit off, I know I'm not gonna hit the kwik, and then I don't have to cause some stress by trying to look at every nail and find the kwik. So if you're not quite sure what I'm talking about still with the kwik, you can look it up online if you go to Google or another search engine and type in, rabbit nails, mention kwik. It'll show you different diagrams of what the kwik looks like in the nail. But if you have a rabbit, especially if you have a rabbit with lighter nails, and you just look at them, you'll probably see what I'm talking about. You're basically just trying to avoid the portion of the nail that's closest to their foot. All right, so we're gonna get started. So you can see Pope's getting pretty grumpy because he knows what's coming. He really doesn't like his nails being trimmed. So we'll try to do this quick. Oop. All right, so I try to kind of calm him, get him in a tight grip, pick up his foot here, and So that's 1 foot right there, like that. So I move really quickly because if you get the rabbit's nail into the trimmer and you close down and they pull their foot away really quickly, you could actually end up pulling out their nail. So you do need to move really quickly. Just, you know, don't hesitate, just go fast because you don't want to end up pulling out your rabbit's nail. But as long as you move quickly, you should be fine. So, and rabbits have, on their front foot, they have 5 nails. So they have 4 in the front that you can see. If you just look at their little paw, you'll see it, but they have a nail that's also hiding in the back of their foot. So make sure to look for that nail that's called the dew claw in the back. My rabbits, their dew claw for some reason wears down naturally just from them running around. So I don't usually have to trim their dew claw. I usually just have to trim the front 4 nails. So that was the front foot. I'm gonna do a back foot really quick, just for camera. Ooh, sorry, I have the sniffles. So his back foot only has 4 nails total, so the front foot is 5 nails, the back foot is 4 nails. So I just grab his back foot like this. Oop, he's gonna try to pull, that's why I'm doing this quickly. So I can kind of get the nail into the trimmer. I just don't close down until I'm ready to snip, just to make sure that I don't end up pulling out one of his nails. So I get it kind of situated while keeping the trimmer open, and then I only close the trimmer really quickly to cut off the nail. All right. So I didn't do all of his back nails. I kind of look at the nails and make sure that they're all around the same length because some of his nails wear down more quickly than others. I'm not sure why. So sometimes there's a nail where I don't need to trim it. I just trim the long ones that need to be trimmed, especially because I'm doing it regularly once every 2 weeks. I don't really have to worry about, you know, if I skip a nail because it's a little shorter. I kind of use my judgment. All right, so here's the pieces of nail. I'm not sure if that can show up, but see, I'm just taking off a very little bit because I do it so frequently. If you don't trim your rabbit's nails so frequently, you're gonna have to trim more off of it. But I really think it's a good idea to do it very frequently. Just take off little bits at a time. For me, that's just the easiest way of doing it, but it's really up to you and what you feel most comfortable with. So if your rabbit starts to get really panicked, starts to pull away a bunch, basically seems very stressed out, I would recommend taking a break because like I said, this is already just a stressful experience. And if you get it to the point where they are panicking and where they're pulling away, it could be dangerous for them. It could be dangerous for you. They could end up scratching you up a bunch. So if they just get too panicky, you know, do as much as you can and then give them a break and then bring them back. I stopped the camera before showing you what to do in case your rabbit's nail starts to bleed. So I'm gonna add this in. So if a nail does start to bleed, don't panic. It's okay, it happens to all of us. We're trying to avoid it, but it happens. Sometimes you just cut too far, you cut into the quick, and then the rabbit's nails will start to bleed. They'll probably, you know, pull their paw really fast away from you if you cut too far because it did cause a little pain to them. So I didn't actually cause any nails to bleed today, luckily. I'm pretty good about it. I don't cause them to bleed very often, but it has happened to me in the past. But if the nail does start to bleed, what you do is you take your powder. So you take a little bit of your powder in your fingers. It's gonna cause a mess, so that's why I like to have this towel and everything. You might wanna have a towel in your lap to keep yourself clean in case you have to do this. And you pick up the paw, go to the nail that's bleeding, and you press the powder into the nail. So I just put a really good thick coating and you press it, and there you go. And so if they do end up licking their paw, because often they do that, it's fine for them to eat a little bit of cornstarch, a little bit of flour. It's just a little bit of leftover residue. All of that's safe for them to eat. So if they do lick their paw after you put that powder on, that's totally fine. So that's it. Let me know if you have any questions about how to cut your rabbit's nail. Pope is over this, so I'm gonna give him a bit of a break and then I'll come back and do the rest of his nails later.